You've probably heard about the Danish concept of hygge for getting cozy, or the Swedish idea of lagom for finding balance. But what if I told you there's a Nordic concept that's less about comfort and more about a deep, almost unbreakable inner strength? Well, today we're diving into the Finnish art of courage, Sisu. So you have to wonder, right? What's the secret sauce that lets a nation not just survive, but thrive through incredibly long, dark winters and a history of facing some pretty daunting odds? Well, the secret isn't just some passing trend, it's a fundamental part of the Finnish soul. And the answer is wrapped up in one powerful, hard to translate word. And that word is sisu. It's pronounced sisu, and it's this amazing mix of grit, guts, and sheer perseverance. You know that feeling when you're completely exhausted, you think you've got nothing left, but somehow you find a second wind? That's sisu. The word literally comes from a Finnish term for insides or guts, and it's all about digging deep inside yourself to push way past your own perceived limits. Now, here's what makes sisu so different from, say, just being brave. Bravery can be like a flash of lightning, a big momentary reaction. But Sisu is the slow burn. It's a mindset you carry with you every single day. It's about taking action, facing challenges with honesty, and just getting it done without any fanfare. It's not about a single heroic act. It's about persistent, quiet strength. So how do we even begin to understand this, let alone build it in our own lives? Well, our guide for today is a fantastic 2018 book called Sisu, The Finnish Art of Courage by Joanna Nylund. We're going to use this book as our lens to break down this amazing concept into something we can all learn from. Joanna Nylund, who has Finnish heritage herself, gives us this incredible inside look. The book is just packed with cultural stories, real-world tips, and even interviews with modern-day Finns who totally embody Sisu. But she also grounds it in history. And one of the most powerful examples is the story of the unbelievable resilience of the Finnish people during the Winter War against the Soviet Union. Talk about facing impossible odds. Okay, so Nylund breaks this down for us really beautifully. She shows us that Sisu isn't just some abstract idea you think about. Nope, it's something you actively build, like a muscle that connects your mind and your body. So on the mental side, it actually starts with something we rarely get, silence. In our crazy, noisy world, the Finnish approach is to find strength in being alone and disconnecting. It gives your brain the space it needs to reset. It also involves training your mind to reframe challenges. Instead of saying, I can't, you learn to ask, how can I? It's about finding that inner light, even during the kamos, the long, dark, polar night of the Finnish winter. And of course, the body plays a huge role. Now, this isn't about becoming a super athlete overnight, not at all. It's about making small, consistent choices that push you just a little. Biking to work when it's drizzling, taking a walk when it's chilly, just choosing to move your body. The whole point is to gently but consistently expand your comfort zone. But here's the thing, Sisu isn't just an inside job. It's also something that's fed and nurtured by your environment. Let's look at two huge influences, the natural world and the people around you. This is one of my favorite insights from the book. For many Finns, nature isn't just a scenic spot for a weekend trip. It's woven right into the fabric of their lives. The forests, the lakes, the tough weather, they aren't seen as obstacles. They're literally a training ground for building grit. And they have some amazing ways of doing this. I'm talking about things like ice swimming, that incredible shock to the system that makes you feel alive, or the quiet patience of foraging in the forest for berries and mushrooms. And of course, the sauna, which is a huge communal ritual. It helps that they have a concept called every man's right, which gives everyone the freedom to roam and connect with the land. And Sisu is absolutely a team sport. It's a value that's passed down through generations. When it comes to raising kids, it's about encouraging independence and teaching them to push through struggles, not saving them from every little thing. In the way people talk to each other, it means being honest and direct. It's about building a whole community of resilient people, not just a few tough individuals. Okay, so we've seen how Sisu is built over time. But what happens when you need it right now? When you're staring down a huge challenge and feel totally stuck? How do you actually put it into action in that moment? For this, Nylund introduces a brilliantly blunt and kind of humorous concept. It's called management by perkele. Now, perkele is, well, it's a very strong Finnish curse word. But in this context, it's about channeling a moment of pure, raw, stubborn determination when you've had enough. So here's how it works. Step 1, You're facing an impossible task. You've hit a wall. Step 2, you stop trying to pretend it's fine. You actually let yourself feel the frustration. You acknowledge that, yes, this is really, really hard. And then, step 3, you take all that energy, all that frustration, and you just push through. You decide you're going to win through sheer stubborn force of will. And this all leads us to the most important point of all. Sisu isn't some kind of magical trait that only Finns possess. As Nylund makes incredibly clear, it's a universal power that exists inside every single one of us. Let this one sink in for a second. Sisu is a verb, not a noun. It's not a trait you're either born with or you're not. It is an action. It's a choice. It is a muscle that you build every single time you decide to take one more step, even when every part of you wants to quit. Joanna Nylund really says it best herself. She writes, Sisu is not uniquely Finnish, but amplified by culture. Anyone can cultivate it for resilience in modern life. In other words, while the Finnish culture is the perfect incubator for Sisu, the core idea is there for all of us. It's a tool we can all use to get through the challenges of our own lives. So what does your personal Sisu toolkit look like? Well, it can start with really simple things. Find a few moments of quiet in your day. Go for a simple walk outside no matter the weather. Try to catch yourself when you think this is impossible and reframe it. And remember, when you're truly up against it, you have a reserve of determined action waiting to be unleashed. And that really brings us to the final thought. Sisu isn't about saving it up for some huge, life-altering crisis. It's found in the small hurdles and tiny choices you make all day, every day. So the real question is, where will you find and where will you build your Sisu today?